There are three things that affect almost everything about you, and that is sleep, your diet, and exercise. I'm going to be going over how these things have an effect on your brain. Sleep is arguably the best thing you can do for your brain. Whenever you sleep, your brain doesn't stop working. During sleep, your brain clears the waste that you have in your brain, transfers learning, restores waste, and restores your appetite and mood. Waste slowly builds up in your brain, and if not cleared out, you are more at risk to get Alzheimer's and dementia, among other problems. That is why it is important for you to get a good night's sleep each and every night. And that's why you need to avoid sugars and caffeine right before bed. Sleeping helps you move your short-term memories into long-term memories and process the information that your brain has gathered throughout the day. That is why people that do not get a good night's sleep have a harder time remembering the information that they have learned. And it is very important for younger people that are constantly gathering more information to get more sleep than older people. Poor sleep doesn't just affect how irritable and cranky you are. People with poor sleep have an influx in negative mood and a decrease in positive mood. This influx can cause bigger problems like depression and anxiety. There's a hormone in your body that tells you how hungry you are. When you're sleepy, this hormone increases. That's why a lot of people that have sleep problems eat a lot more, and they're more at risk for obesity and diabetes. Now, it doesn't matter if it's your body or your mind. Your diet is what gives your body and mind the fuel. If you don't give your mind the fuel that it needs, it's not going to run the way it's supposed to. That's why it is very important to have a clean diet. Nuts, seeds, and fish have omega-3 fatty acids in them, which help develop your brain. And some older adults that have a lack of omega-3 fatty acids actually have a smaller brain. It's very important for you to get omega-3s to remember and learning things. Broccoli has a chemical in it which can help heal your brain. Every once in a while, your brain will suffer some minor damage to it. Broccoli can help heal this damage and repair your brain the way it should be. Blueberries are the king of antioxidants, which shield your brain from oxidants and help your brain with aging. There is consistently oxidants trying to enter your body, which can give you cancer. The antioxidants in blueberries can shield you from this, and it also helps your brain with the aging process. Water keeps your brain hydrated. If you don't hydrate your brain, there can be many negative effects, like you can have a lack of concentration, memory loss, brain fog, and sleeping problems, just to name a few. So that is why it's very important to keep hydrated. Proteins that are in chicken and fish not only boost your body, but your brain as well. Eating protein sends nutrients to your brain that helps fight off fatigue, memory loss, and clarity. That is why it is very important for you to eat a healthy, protein-rich meal before a test. Complex carbohydrates like whole grains and whole wheat provides glucose to your brain. Glucose is what fuels your brain. That is why it's very important for you to get a steady diet of complex carbohydrates. Let's face it, this isn't really a big issue for most people because most people like eating carbs. Now there are a few foods that you need to stay away from, like sugar. Sugar has a lot of glucose in it, and yes, your brain needs glucose, but the big spike in glucose that your sugar gives you can cause some negative effects like memory loss and not being able to concentrate. That's why it's very important for you to stay away from sugar, which is really hard because sugar is very addictive and it's in almost all foods these days. Trans fats are in a lot of processed and fast food these days. It is so bad that the government has told companies to get rid of these trans fats in foods and find some other sort of alternative means. That is why it's very important just to stay away from processed and fast food. Salt can affect your cognitive functions, your memory, and dehydrate you. It is addictive and you can actually go through withdrawals whenever you stop eating it. It's in a lot of foods these days because it acts as a natural preservative. It's hard to eat healthy these days, but these are a few things for you to look for. It's best if you just start looking up what foods are good for you and what foods are bad for you. Then look at the back of the food for the labels that tell you the nutrition facts in the food and actually get the things that are healthy for you. Now, I'm not saying that people that work out are smarter than the people that don't, but it's been proven that exercise does have a lot of benefits to your brain and learning in general. When you exercise, your body pumps blood to your brain and neurotransmitters that help you learn. One of these neurotransmitters is neurophoric. Whenever you have a spike of neurophoric, you have a much better chance of remembering the event of what happened. That's why people remember exciting and horrific events more. People that work out usually have a much bigger memory than the people that don't. When you exercise, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine can make you more alert and motivated, which can make you more focused on what you want to learn. If you have a lack of dopamine levels, it can cause depression and Parkinson's disease. If you have a problem with your receptors in your brain, you could have a lack of dopamine levels. Exercise can reduce stress. When people have high stress levels, they can damage their brain. Exercise not only releases that stress, but it can also provide new brain cells for the ones that are lost. Exercise reduces stress. People that have high stress levels can damage their brain. Exercise not only reduces those stress levels, but also can stimulate your brain to grow new brain cells that can replace the cells that are lost. As you can see, exercise doesn't just improve your body, but your mind as well. Most of these chemicals only last for a few moments. That's why it's very important for you to study right after you exercise. If you don't, these chemicals have little to no effect on what you're doing.